Ooh, what's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMG, WTF, LOL, FTWBRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2013, where we're playing as the WWE in the year of 2015. And we're about to book Monday Night Raw, leading up to Money in the Bank. But before we go there, there is one thing I wanted to cover real quick. And you guys might have noted this by now if you're watching the video, not just listening. I have the announcer screen up, and this is what I really wanted to talk about real quick. So, off-screen, Jerry the King Lawler, the King, retired. And I knew he was retiring. I got the notification for it. I really haven't dealt with many retirees, I guess would be the word, that I was planning on still using. I didn't think that they left the wrestling business, and I still don't know if everyone that retires leaves the wrestling business right away. So, I don't know if that's true, but Jerry Lawler left the wrestling business, nerds and geeks, so I had to go out and find another announcer for Jerry the King Lawler. So I just real quick wanted to go over who the announce team is for each and every show. That way I won't have to, bring it up, or I never bring it up again for no reason. So for pay-per-views, or for events, as Stu likes to call it, we're going to have Jim Ross calling it with Michael Cole and John Bradshaw Layfield. Skip these brand parts here. So for Friday Night Smackdown, we have Scott Stanford as the lead announcer, Byron Saxton joining along with Stanford. Of course, he's they have good chemistry. Although Saxton might make more sense as the lead announcer. It seems like he's got better skills overall. I just picture Stanford being more of the voice. And then taking Jerry the King Lawler's place is WWE Hall of Famer Roddy Piper, who I honestly feel will fit, or feel that heel role that Jerry the King Lawler was playing on SmackDown. I definitely think Piper would make a really good heel color commentator. He's not in yet, but he'll be able to start tomorrow, so we'll have him in time for SmackDown. And then for Monday Night Raw, I don't believe this has changed, to be honest, but if it has, then this is our new Monday Night Raw announce team. Michael Cole, John Bradshaw Layfield, and Booker T. And then for NXT, we have Renee Young and Corey Graves, and joining the announce team is Mike Tenay. So all in all, I actually really am happy with the announce teams. I think they're interesting teams. Either way, though, nerds and geeks, let's go ahead and start Monday Night Raw. No more jibber jabbers. Let's go on and do this. We have two pre-show matches here tonight, and we are being held in front of 12,423 people in the Jacksonville Memorial Arena in Florida, being showed live on Canal 5 along with other places like USA Network, of course. So for the pre-show, we start off with a 68C+. Can't complain with that. That's actually a really good rating if you ask me, for a match with David Otunga and Curtis Axel in it. And a match with some good action, but not much weighing heat. The Usos defeating Axel and David Otunga, when Jimmy Uso defeated Otunga with the Samoan Wrecking Ball. Wonder what that is. It's not just a Samoan drop, is it? Otunga did switch gimmick, and he went to a Harvard Snob gimmick. Although it does say it was too soon after this, but honestly it doesn't matter too much, because similar to how Leo Kruger is at the moment, David Otunga's gimmick rating had like a 0 on it, so there was really no other place to go but, up. I believe he's still going to be penalized, though. He got a 58 rating, and I believe anything around, anything like 59 and below is usually penalized. I think 60 is like where it doesn't get penalized anymore. I could be wrong there. I'm going to check it in a second. So those of you who may be wondering why I'm not doing that with Leo Kruger, actually I'll get to that when we see Leo later on tonight, because we will. But either way, not a bad rating if you ask me on a Harvard Snob gimmick. I do have plans for these two, just so you guys know. They have great chemistry as a team, so I'm going to use them for something. So Otunga's improving in Rumble, and the Usos both are improving in performance. And like I said before, I just wanted to check to see if, he is still penalized for a poor gimmick, which 58 I feel is I think that's a little unfair. And then we go to our main event of the pre-show. Some good action, but not much weighing heat. Dean Ambrose defeating BJ Whitmer in 6 minutes and 59 seconds. Could have just gone a minute and made it 7, couldn't you? With the headlock driver. 59C, not too bad either. Although the previous tag match did better than this. It's interesting. BJ is improving in Rumble. I could care less about that, though. Shouldn't be improving in anything. So we go to start the actual show for tonight, and we start off with an 81B. Definitely am satisfied with that one. Start off the night with Triple H, Rollins, Kane, and Big Show in the middle of the ring. Triple H takes the mic, welcomes everybody to Monday Night Raw, and he begins to hype up tonight's show and Money in the Bank, of course. But then he's interrupted by a chorus of Ambrose, 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 Ambrose chants. Seth Rollins then takes his mic and he says, "Hey, shut up. You know this." Why do I keep saying you know? You show this man some respect. He's a 13-time world champion and you people are wasting your breath anyway. After the beating Ambrose took by myself and the Bulgarian badass Rusev, Ambrose will be lucky he even makes it to Money in the Bank. Something that, of course, could have been avoided if it wasn't for you two giant mistakes. As he says two giant mistakes, of course, he's talking about Big Show and Kane. But before we get to Big Show and Kane, you also heard Rollins say Ambrose won't be here tonight. On Smackdown, we had, or we didn't do it. I accidentally forgot to put it in, but we're pretending that we did. And I'm also going to show it later tonight anyway in a rewind. But on Smackdown, we did an angle where Ambrose got beaten down by Rusev and Rollins, which is like taking him out for now. I'll talk about that a little bit later in a second. And then Big Show, rips the mic from Seth after he says, if it wasn't for you two giant mistakes, and he says, "Look here, Seth, I'm getting real tired of you running your mouth, especially since the majority of your success is thanks to Kane and myself. So why don't you shut your mouth before I shut it for you?" Triple H, of course, takes the mic and says, whoa, 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 easy, easy. Show, Seth does have a point. Because of you and Kane, things have gotten a little bit more difficult for the Authority than I would have liked. Maybe Seth was right on SmackDown. Maybe he was right when he said it's time for the Authority to move on from the old guard and on to the new age. But you two have done a lot of good for the Authority, and those deeds won't go unnoticed. They won't. So that's why tonight I'm giving you two one last chance. We're going to give you one last chance to see if you two can still hang with the crop of the new and young talent we have in the WWE today. Tonight, you two will be taking on your fellow Authority members. You'll be taking on Cesaro and Tyson Kidd for the WWE Tag Team Championships. And Big Show, Kane, if you don't win, consider yourselves fired. So, starting off the night with the Authority dropping a bombshell on Big Show and Kane. Many of you watched SmackDown last week. It's just been kind of, escalating, not even just from SmackDown, from in general. Rollins is just, the Authority's been just upset that Big Show and Kane, it's because of them that Ambrose and Ziggler are, getting a chances here. Ambrose getting his title match, and then Ziggler getting the Money in the Bank title match. And, Triple H saying, they got a point. Win your match, you're still in. Lose, you're out. Also, Kane is foreshadowing a face turn. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. We may not see that right away there, just so you guys know. Then we go on to, an 84B+. This did great. We then go on to the Smackdown Rewind, as the announcers are, talking a little bit about what Seth Rollins was mentioning this past week on SmackDown when Dean Ambrose was taking on Rusev. Seth Rollins got involved in the match, and then the beatdown began as the Bulgarian Brute and the WWE Champion just started tossing Ambrose around and taking him down with anything they could see. We're being told that Ambrose is being he was taken to the hospital, and he's actually being held against his will. He was refusing to stay down for the doctors, and the doctors could not treat his injuries, so they had to put him down so they can work on him. We'll have further news on Dean Ambrose as the show goes on, basically. So that not only explains why Ambrose won't be here on Monday Night Raw, most likely on SmackDown, but it also explains how he's, being held down, basically. Because let's be legit, Dean Ambrose wouldn't just be at the hospital and be like, oh yeah, you guys gotta fix me. Nah, Dean Ambrose would straight up be like, let me the hell out of here, and they'd have to restrain him or somehow. So this did a really good angle, if you ask me. And then we go to our opening match of the night, which doesn't do that great, but what can you do? It has the Ascension in there. A 46D to start off the night for our match. We have a bout that had solid in-ring action, but non-existent crowd heat. The Ascension, that's correct, Nerds and Geeks. The Ascension defeating the Primetime Players in 8 minutes and 13 seconds when Connor defeated Darren Young by the pinfall with the fall of man after a distraction from The Miz. So the way I'd like to imagine this happening here is the PTP's looking really good. In fact, I kept them strong in this match, so they did look good, mostly because Young complained. But they're looking really good in this match. They got majority of the control, and then I would imagine Miz's music starts hitting. He just kind of starts, talking trash. I don't know exactly what he would say, but pretty much just saying how the Primetime Players are garbage and stuff like that, which leads to enough of the distraction for the Ascension to hit the fall of man and pick up a huge victory. No worker improvements, though. We then go on to... Wow! I was not expecting this to do a C-, but, hey, I'm happy with it. That's great. We do a 55 C-. Uppercats backstage, and they're being interviewed about, the title match later on tonight and at Money in the Bank. When Cesaro interrupts them before they can really finish, and he goes, "Why are we talking about this? I mean, seriously, why are we talking about this?" And then Kid just looks at him like, "Yeah, I know what you mean." But then he takes the mic and he goes, "Let's look at the facts here. Cesaro and myself have been tag team champions since February. Fact." And every time Tyson Kidd says fact, I'd imagine Cesaro and Natalya also saying fact at the same time. "We've beaten every team that stepped up to us. Fact. Miz and Mizdow lose more often than they win. Fact. So do the Primetime Players. Fact. Both teams have done absolutely nothing to earn a title shot. Fact. And honestly, don't deserve their title shot. Fact. And at Money in the Bank, we'll beat them just like we've beaten every other team. And those are the facts." I love that fact thing Tyson Kidd used to do all the time. So we had Natty helping Kid in this segment, so that's awesome. And it improved it along, so can't complain. And there's no penalizing for Cesaro either, which I was a little worried about because I don't believe he is the best microphone or guy on the microphone. But either way, we then go to a 72 B-. Definitely am happy with this angle as well. Stardust is in, his black room with the stars and all that. He's laughing maniacally right now before he turns to the camera and he continues to laugh and he says, "Roman Reigns, oh Roman, Roman, Roman. On my quest to end the Giants, to rid the WWE of the Giants and the Mastodons, I knew I'd run into you eventually. In fact, I was hoping I'd run into you eventually. You're the big dog, Roman, and it's time to put you down. So tonight when we face off, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you down. And then I will climb the ladder to the heavens and retrieve my prophetic scrolls that hang in the balance and guarantee my future. A future for Stardust." I'm a little bit of a mood here, aren't I? I just actually did a Stardust impersonation. Either way, though, Stardust hinting towards his upcoming match. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, if you guys didn't get it. Stardust and Roman Reigns are about to take each other on in a Money in the Bank qualifier match. And Stardust was just doing a quick promo on Roman here, while also keeping his story in line about how he wants to take down all the Giants and stuff. We then go to a 69C+, just a basic angle of Roman Reigns making his way out to the ring, leading to a commercial break. We then come back from that commercial break to a 77B? What? Wow. A 77B? I was not expecting these two to get that great of a match. Good job, guys. Very good job. And a bout that featured great action and average heat. Roman Reigns defeating Stardust in 12 minutes and 20 seconds with the spear. So Roman Reigns has officially joined the Money in the Bank. We have now Bray Wyatt, Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, and Roman Reigns. Only one more superstar to find out, and that'll be on Friday Night SmackDown. But after the match, we get a 65C as here comes Luke Harper. Here comes Eric Rowan, beating down on Roman Reigns before he can celebrate, taking him out, and hopefully trying to take him out of the Money in the Bank in general. Obviously having orders from the Wyatt's family here. But what's this? Here comes Daniel Bryan. Here comes Dolph Ziggler with a 77B rating, saving Roman Reigns from the Wyatt family, taking him out. Or taking them out, I should say. 77B, good job. Mostly Daniel, I'm assuming. But then again, there are a lot of... I mean, you two are upper mid-carders, and I believe you three are mid-card... or main eventers, not mid-carders. And then we have the announcers put over that this just announced we'll see a Smackdown rematch tonight as Daniel Bryan teams with Dolph Ziggler to take on the Wyatt family later tonight. And then speaking of the Wyatt family, nerds and geeks, we go to a 34E+. What a horrible match. And about that, it's solid in-ring action, but non-existent crowd heat. Leo Kruger defeating Zack Ryder with the Kruger end. And earlier I mentioned how Leo Kruger currently has a 0 on his gimmick, kind of how David Otunga did before I switched him over. And the reason why I'm not switching Leo Kruger over yet compared to Otunga is, for one, it is too soon to do that, and I know I did it with Otunga either way, like it doesn't matter. It's going to be better than a 0 anyway. But I'd rather actually give Kruger a chance because I have legitimate plans to push Leo Kruger. So I want to wait until, I'm able to change his gimmick without getting, oh, it's too soon to change this gimmick before, I don't want to set him up for failure like I've already kind of done with that botched heel turn. So Bray did some good work ringside, and what is awesome, and I'm super happy to see, is the fact that Leo Kruger and Bray Wyatt have great chemistry together. That, to me, is perfect. Because that'll really help Kruger get over, is the fact that he has someone that he can play off well. For worker improvements, we have none. So, out of curiosity, honestly, Kruger was not penalized for much. In fact, Zack Ryder was penalized more than anything. Good for Leo Kruger, actually. He got a lot of stuff going for him there. We then go on to a 74B-. I wrote this angle myself, but I didn't at the same time. And because there's really nothing here. It's just the psych-up angle where Seth Rollins is backstage with Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. Rusev's there as well, but not for anything special, just because he's kind of like Seth Rollins' bodyguard. But just psyching him up for the match against Big Show and Kane, pretty much saying, let's prove tonight that, Big Show and Kane don't belong here. Let's kick them to the curb, basically. We then go to a 41D as Paige is being interviewed backstage about her match coming up next. And she interrupts and says, look, I don't want to talk about my match. I could care less about who I'm facing. It'll be a cakewalk. You know what I really want to talk about? Let's talk about AJ, shall we? Let's talk about how AJ got all crazy last week and attacked me after my match. Normally I'd be angry, but I'm not. I'm getting in her head. The crazier she gets, it's the easier it is to catch her off her guard. Just like Raw after WrestleMania a few years back, when I caught her off guard. How did that end again? That's right. The same way it'll end at Money in the Bank. Then she just walks to the, starts walking to the ringside as she gets ready for her match. Then we go to the match, which gets a 48D+. Not too bad for Divas. It's almost at a C. Naomi's in this match, so understandable. 48D+, at about that solid reaction, about non-existent crowd heat. Naomi defeats Paige with this in 7 minutes and 26 seconds with the Nightmare. I'm not sure what the Nightmare is. After a distraction from AJ Lee. So the way I'd imagine this happening is Paige, looks like she's winning this. And then AJ's music hits. She comes skipping out where Paige is kind of like, what is she doing? Turns around and then gets hit with the Nightmare, or that booty move that I was kind of thinking. That's what I would figure. She hit the booty move, rear view, or whatever it's called, and pick up the victory. AJ costing Paige a match here tonight. And then not only that, she takes the mic afterward and gets a 49D+ rating. Not too bad for that either. I think it actually just went up and up and up every time. So a 49D+ of a rating. AJ takes the mic after, just costing Paige her match. And she says, oops, did I do that? I'm sorry. Sometimes I get a little bored just sitting in the back. But, I did happen to catch what you had to say before your match. You should really worry about who you're facing next time. Obviously taking a little pot shot there since Paige said, I could care less who I'm facing tonight. It'll be a cakewalk. Obviously, it didn't go the way she planned. And just so you know, Paige, I may be crazy, but crazy is my best. You may think you can catch me off my guard, but you'll be too busy getting your face beaten. Because let me tell you something, Paige. When I'm crazy, I'm unpredictable. And that unpredictability leads to this. And she holds up the Divas Championship, and then she takes the mic and says, "Your move," before she tosses it down and just walks to the back as Paige just looks super, just pissed. "This is my house," or something, I don't know. We then go to a 76 B- as John Cena just makes his way down to the ring for, well, you guessed it, the U.S. Open Invitational, Nerds and Geeks. He takes the mic, does his normal rundown of the U.S. title means this, that. It's an opportunity. This is the land, or the opportunity, for the world or something to get their freedom, or I don't know what. I used to say it all the time. The land of opportunity. That's what I used to say. America's the land of opportunity, and the United States Championship is the title of opportunity, and that means that the United States Open Challenge starts now. 92A. God, John Cena, I love you sometimes, my buddy. 92A, and then who's accepting it? Well, we'll have to get past this first, but nice, a 73 B-. That's pretty cool. 73 B-. Neville makes his way out to the ring, and it's revealed that he's the one accepting John Cena's challenge for what is now the second time, Nerds and Geeks. So Neville saying pretty much, "I can beat you, John. I took you to the limit last time, and I'm going to take the title from you this time. And you want some? Come get some," pretty much. So we then go on to the match, which does a 75 B-. Very satisfied with that. And a bout that featured great action and average heat. John Cena defeats Neville in 9 minutes and 43 seconds when Neville was disqualified. We're doing a lot of disqualifications tonight, Nerds and Geeks. Neville was disqualified. I don't know why it was Neville. It should have been a double DQ, but whatever. Let's just imagine it is a double DQ. By double DQ when Sheamus and Bad News Barrett ran in and took out both John Cena and Neville, basically preventing Cena from being able to, or preventing Neville from being able to take the title off of Cena so they can be the ones to do that. Cena looked good out there, apparently, and he's also improving in technical skills. Out of curiosity, I want to see if Neville's penalized. Oh, he's got a poor gimmick. Then moving on from that, the beatdown continues, Nerds and Geeks. An 80B, super happy with that. Sheamus and Bad News Barrett continuing the beatdown, tossing Cena into the steel steps, beating him up in the ring, hitting them with their respective finishers, hitting him with the bro kick, the Celtic toss, the wasteland, the elbow, like bare knuckle elbow, what's the hell is it called? Bullhammer, hits him with the bullhammer. And then I'd imagine that extra cherry on the top, they toss Cena through the announce table, and they're just pretty much standing tall over him as Sheamus and Barrett send their message and pretty much are stating, "We want a United States title match at Money in the Bank." 80B. Unfortunately, Barrett underperformed again, and I wonder why Barrett's always the one that's underperforming in these big angles. I figured by now he actually might have kind of come up a little bit more. Maybe Dirty will show me. No, only Sheamus. Literally, Sheamus was the only person that was penalized. Thanks a lot, Sheamus. We then go to a 70C+. This is back from the commercial break. Bray Wyatt appears on the Tron in a dark room with the Wyatt family behind him as he sits in his rocking chair. And he says, a long time ago, you and I went to war, Daniel. A war I remember winning. And a war I don't think you wish to revisit. And you, Dolph, I don't think we've really gotten to know each other, but I promise you that you don't want to get to know me. You see, I understand the three of us, alongside three other unfortunate souls, will go to war over a prize that hangs over our head. But I'm also battling another war. A war that you two decided to join. And now, we're going to teach you boys a lesson. We're here. So, Bray, kind of a pre-match promo, but remember when Bray, before, would be on the Titantron before he'd come out, and then he'd say that we're here, and blow out the candle, make his way to the ring. Sorry, I have hiccups all of a sudden. That's pretty much what this is, though. Bray Wyatt and company doing a little bit of a promo before making their way to the ring for the tag team title, or not tag team title match, the tag team match. And I actually really enjoyed this promo a little bit because it hints back to the feud between him and Bryan, and also talks a little bit about the Money in the Bank, but the fact that Bray has this feud going on with Roman Reigns, and he understands that Daniel Bryan and Dolph are going to be fighting him at Money in the Bank, but they had no really right to poke their nose in his business, he views. And then we go on to the match that does a 82B. Definitely am stoked about that. An 82B in a bout that featured great action and average heat. Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler defeat the Wyatt family in 14 minutes and 48 seconds when Rowan was disqualified. Yep, another disqualification. Leo Kruger gets involved this time, and I imagine, it's looking good for Ziggler. It's looking good for Daniel Bryan. And Bray just gives Leo the motion. Go in there and, change the tide. And Leo comes in with the steel chair, whacks Dolph Ziggler with it, whacks Daniel Bryan with it, and then the Wyatts just begin the beatdown on Dolph and Daniel, making them pay for it. So Daniel's improving in performance, and Luke is improving in both technical and performance as well. So as they're getting beaten down, here comes Roman Reigns. Here comes the big dog to a 68C+, saving the day. He's got Daniel Bryan's back, he's got Dolph Ziggler's back, and he prevents Bray and company from doing any more damage to the men who saved them earlier in the night. The performance of Bryan was good. That's not too bad. No skill improvements, though. Damn it. This should have been after something else, but it's not that big of a deal. So we go to an 85B+. Definitely am satisfied with that rating. That's actually a really good rating for both Big Show and Kane. And Big Show approaches Kane backstage, and he just says, "Hey, man, you ready for tonight?" Kane, just looks up at him kind of while he's just, I guess, fixing his glove or whatever he does. And Big Show leans against the wall and he says, "Man, I can't believe Hunter doesn't think we got what it take anymore." I mean, I can't blame the guy, though. Honestly, we did let him down on the whole Ambrose Ziggler situation. But you know what? Tonight we got another chance, Kane. Not only are we going to recapture the WWE Tag Team Championships for a third time, but we get to show these people and those guys out there that we still got it. Let's go show these young guns what we've got. And Kane just kind of nods at him, looking all, angry and menacing while he's fixing his glove thing. And they make their way to the outside. Making their way to the ring. Before that, the announcers put over that this Friday Night Smackdown, we'll see Roman Reigns team up with Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan to take on the Wyatt family. And I know it says Bray Wyatt, and I did that on purpose because it's supposed to be, the Wyatts are gonna, they're gonna take on the Wyatts at what's it called, Smackdown. It's gonna be Bray, Harper, and Rowan. But no, a little bit of a spoiler report for Smackdown ahead of time. Bray is not gonna be in the match, despite saying that, or despite it being advertised right there that he was. Nope. Bray Wyatt is going to opt to have Leo Kruger take his place. So on SmackDown, we'll see Reigns, Bryan, and Ziggler take on the team. Not the team, but they are a team, but I'm not going to call them that. Take on the Wyatt family, which is being represented by Harper, Rowan, and Leo Kruger. That's a way better way of saying that. There we go. Booked it in for Friday Night SmackDown. And then I believe we go right to our main event after this. We do. And it gets a 68C+. I would have rather have seen at least a B-. A C+, just... I wonder why... I'll have to look at the dirt sheet. That just doesn't seem right to me. A B- was at least what I was expecting. But either way, in a match with some good action and average heat, Kane and Big Show defeat the Uppercats. But they were disqualified. Another disqualification. I know, Nerds and Geeks. I did way too many of them this time around, I just think. Cesaro was disqualified when Rusev ran in and attacked Big Show, and he also attacked Kane. So I would imagine things are starting to look really good for the not the Uppercats, Kane and Big Show, as they're about to capture the title. And here comes Rusev, takes out the two big monsters, and costing them their title match. Tyson Kidd is improving in performance, but they did win, so I wonder if that means that they're going to stay on the Authority. I did mention Tyson Kidd is improving in performance, right? Before we move on, though, I'd like to see what happened here. Got a lot of bonuses, so Big Show was Inconsistency in holding back. Kane was penalized for his declining ability. Having a burnt out crowd. Wonder what that means. I've actually never seen that one. If anyone wants to comment below, let me know. And then to end off the night, we have a 73 B-. The beatdown continues as Rusev and the Uppercats attack Kane and Big Show as Triple H and Rollins make their way down to the ring, looking pleased, of course. Then Rusev locks Big Show in the Accolade, while Tyson Kidd locks in the Sharpshooter. So Big Show now is, he has the Accolade locked in on him, on this upper half of his body. Tyson Kidd, Sharpshooter on the lower half, and Big Show is in pain, and they don't let go until Big Show passes out. Then Seth Rollins begins to bark orders at Rusev and Cesaro. He says, "Hey, go get Kane! Go get Kane!" And then they go to grab Kane. While they're grabbing Kane, Seth Rollins goes over to Tyson Kidd, gets in his ear and starts telling him to do something. And then Rusev, once Rusev and, supposed to be Rusev and Cesaro, I must have done single instead of tag. Once Rusev and Cesaro bring Kane into the ring, Seth Rollins begins to, mock the Shield as he does the Roman Reigns, ooh-wah! And he has Rusev and Cesaro lift up Kane as they begin to do a triple powerbomb a la Shield. But here's the added extra thing, Nerds and Geeks, that I love. So while Seth Rollins has Kane on his shoulders and Rusev and Cesaro have him up, ready to help him do the triple powerbomb, as they're doing the triple powerbomb, Tyson Kidd does a springboard off the ropes and lands, and I think it's called a senton, where they basically butt first on their chest and goes, I don't know what it's called. Rey Mysterio used to do it. They called it dropping the dime. So basically, it's a triple powerbomb with Tyson Kidd doing the senton on him as they fall down, and taking out Kane in the process, officially kicking both Kane and Big Show out of the Authority for good, Nerds and Geeks. So the performance of Triple H was good, and Tyson Kidd was underwhelming. I was originally going to turn Big Show and Kane here, but I am going to wait on it until I have them return to TV. So we're going to see the angle pop up saying, hey, you could have a worker turn in a segment, but we're just going to move on from it and not have it. Wow, awesome! Final rating for the show is an 80. That is amazing. An 80 rating. Definitely satisfied with that one. Show increased our popularity in 19 regions as well, so I believe we just stayed the same in some other regions. Could be wrong. That's awesome, though. I'm just waiting here. That's a good show. I was a little worried about that show, especially after that main event. Got a worse worse rating than I thought I would have gotten. C for main event. I was a little worried about that. There we go. I was about to say, this is taking forever. NXT extension rumor. Apparently, Terry Taylor is going to be remaining in NXT. That's good. So, Monday Night Raw doing really good. Oh, Global Force. Wow. Getting the third thing. And Vince McMahon officially retires. Yep. Officially retiring. Elijah Burke won the Global Force Heavyweight title. Thrasher's apparently retiring too. Okay. What is the deal? Are you mad about your gimmick? Watch. Poor new gimmick. That's not a bad gimmick, though. If we look at it, I don't think that's a bad gimmick. Hey, watch. He's got a C. That's not too bad. A D, I think, would be worse. He's got no momentum, though. Big E's probably mad that he's left off Raw. Yeah, we'll have to put him on SmackDown. Everyone else looks good, though. So Vince McMahon is retired from the wrestling business. Why did I get that twice? And he's gone. We don't have to pay him anymore. Hell yes. Can we negotiate with him? Nope. So Vince McMahon is out of here. And Roddy Piper has left both Lucha Underground and Global Force and has joined us, so he's now on SmackDown. And apparently the ratings were down. It was up on USA Network, though. Did a 5.57 this time. So let's go ahead and auto push so we can get Roddy Piper on the team. That works for me. I'd like him to be a heel, actually. And that works as well anyway. All right, cool. So we got Roddy Piper now. go to the announcers here, and I just want to kind of see it from my own eyes. Okay, nothing really changes. So let's look at the storylines real quick before we end this off. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins got a good line. So does Cena, Sheamus, Barrett. We didn't do anything with Orton and Rusev. I'm kind of keeping Orton off screen right now, too. What the hell? How'd I skip? This is not doing a good angle all of a sudden. And, okay. That's going to do it for this episode. Actually, before, I don't remember what I wanted to do now. I wanted to see where Stardust and Roman Reigns ranks. Okay, so it's not it's our 22nd best match, so it's not like it's one of the best matches we've had. Either way, nerds and geeks, that's going to be the end of this episode. If you have enjoyed, do me a favor, leave me a comment, like, and subscribe if you have not already. And as always, my name has been OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB, and I'll see you nerds and geeks for Friday Night Smackdown. So until then, have a wonderful day.